7:11 a.m. this Tuesday morning, October 7th, 2025. Yeah, it's been pretty much raining all night. It's supposed to be letting up, somewhere around 9 a.m. this morning or thereabouts. We are, right around 65 degrees Fahrenheit this morning. So, mediocre temperatures. And of course, I have not watched any of this morning's news so far. But from what I have gathered and garnered so far, yeah, we're supposed to have a slow clearing throughout the day into partly sunny, partly cloudy skies. Of that we shall see, right? And of course I have just begun uploading yesterday's content. Full day behind. They're keeping me a full day behind now. And it's getting to the point to where, alright, once again, unless it's something well worth my time, effort, and energy to record and share, that's about the extent of where future content is going to lead us now. Yeah, alright, that's good enough for this morning. I wanted to bring up a couple of things, but nah, we'll keep it at this and leave it at that. Yeah, 7:30 a.m. this Tuesday morning. First thing the dog did was run right up towards the woods. Continuing with the instigation. So apparently, I contact law enforcement once again. Because I even told the cop himself, if I see that fucking dog back here again, I will take care of business my way. Yeah. So we are at 8 a.m. this Tuesday morning. Well, I've been sitting here watching the idiot box, contemplating some thoughts. And of course, you might now well realize why I have such opinionated thoughts about laws and law enforcement, especially here in Michigan. You see how well it's worked out, right? Now, I want you, the viewers, to understand something. I'm half country hick, half city slick. When it comes down to animals in the country, especially dogs, country dogs. Many people around here have dogs for hunting purposes, right? But typically they are trained in the arts of pointing and retrieval. Trained. But when you have a dog that has experienced the thrill of the kill and gets a taste of blood, the dog will never forget that and will always thrive for that sensation and taste again. So now we have a cat killing dog that has reveled in the factor of a kill and the taste of a kill. Okay? Now, when I was younger, there's an old-fashioned remedy for a dog such as that. And on a farm, if a dog kills a chicken and has a thrill of that kill and tastes the blood, it will always continue to go after chickens. You either put down the dog, give the dog away, but you no longer have it around the chickens unless you cure the dog of that desire. And it sounds morbid and disgusting, but when a dog kills a chicken, one of the best remedies is to tie the chicken to the dog's neck and let it hang there for a period of 3 days. Yeah. But that is a cure. That, or the farmer just pulls out the shotgun. Take care of business right then and there. That's how it works in these parts, or at least used to, right? But I think I have shown, at least to this point, how worthless 4 different law enforcement agencies that's been involved with this now has been, as well as our manager. As you see, the instigation still continued. And one has to be suspicious. Was the instigation on behalf of law enforcement for entrapment purposes, to see how far I would actually go? But of course you can see that it is flagrant instigation and a whole lot of laziness. And let me tell you what, when it comes down to walking past an apartment that stinks of BO and wet dog, and of course you see the dog out there doing its business, but oh, it's raining. Oh, I'm not going to go out and clean up after it. I'm not going to pick up its waste material. It's raining. Yeah. We're dealing with some very undereducated, low mentality people. Enough said. Oh, and just one more thing while the thought is fresh in my head. So, this whole circumstance has now made its way down through the grapevines of gossip. Now let me tell you what, this female and her son and that dog has really labeled themselves, and not many residents here are very happy over the circumstances of the dog killing a kitten. And as far as I'm concerned, once again, it was flat out intentional. Because if you go back to the beginning with her son and the golf club, you know, I've got it all recorded, right? And I got it all posted on this channel, right? Who's in the wrong and who is in the right? Me against how many now? Or have had to deal with how many? Yeah. And the thing is, I can already feel the shifting tides to where they want to try to hit me rather than get hit themselves. But you know, I think my recordings is proof enough in the pudding as to the realities over this situation. And I've proven myself in comparison to those that I've shown that I have dealt with. Yeah. But again, that's where we're at. 9 a.m. The rain has just let up. Well, for the most part. My camera's getting wet. And we are out here as I seen movement. So I figured, well, my kitty cats are hungry. Hi, guys. Hi. Yeah, hi. Yeah, you're looking a little wet. Yeah. All right, we're, yeah, okay. We're getting there, okay? Why? Yeah, you guys look rather wet. Mama cat doesn't, so what's up with that? Yeah, okay, here. There we go. Okay, yeah, over here. Come on. Over here. Hi, Snowball. Oreo, you behave yourself, okay? I'm telling you, behave yourself. Let's not have this morning. Alright? Here, come on over here. Here, right here. Okay? Stay separate. Alright. And knock it off. Yeah, we're going, hi Greystoke. Hi, Screamer. Yeah, we're going, just try to get as much moisture out of that as possible. Okay, here, girl. Here. Yeah. Okay. And you know, and here there's, you know, idiots out there that just want to screw this right up. Got a good thing going. Had a great thing going. I've been here for 17 years. Okay? Been caretaking for almost 3 years with these cats. Never had any kind of an issue until, well, when somebody decided to start in, you know, trapping these cats, neutering them, and releasing them, which of course is not done or has been done through animal control, because animal control in this county will euthanize these cats before they do anything else, okay? So, you know, just let that be known. Wolf, here, eat that, okay? We don't need any issues. So it began with those individuals that, you know, decided to take it upon themselves to do this trapping, neutering, and releasing. And when you examine some of the ears to these cats, a very pathetic job done indeed. Okay, and I still don't know, you know, who was behind that. All I know is that it seems to have ceased for the time being. Hi, girl. How's China? How you doing, girl? Yeah, I know. You're wanting. Yeah, good girl. Okay, so furthermore, and then we get the instigation over these two, once again, very undereducated, low mentality individuals that, you know, started instigating right off the bat when it came down to these cats, and you know, using these cats to lay blame of, oh well, if it wasn't for the cats, the dog wouldn't have broken its leash twice, and so, you know, my son ended up taking a golf club up there to, you know, take care of business. Yeah. You know, it never fails though. You know, whenever I started doing things out of the kindness of my heart for, you know, yeah, I know, I feel bad for you guys because mama's not taking care of you right. And somebody else has decided to make claim to the shelter out here. And of course, this is my property, so, you know, it's not like I can keep building shelters for these guys. After all, Mama Cat was able to have these kittens someplace, raise the kittens to be to this age, and so, you know, and of course, you know, these kittens could get sick now. But, you know, I have had, you know, I'm out here at least twice a day, at least. And throughout my period of time that I come out here feeding these cats, I have had nobody complain. And, you know, contrary to that, I've actually had some individuals basically confront me out on the sidewalk and thank me for what I've been doing. And then we get these, you know, instigating idiots. And of course, you know, the state police officer, when he was talking with me, asked me, hey, so is that a, you know, a cure for the situation? Is just not allow the dog into the backyard? Yeah. Well, look at what happened this morning. Yeah. So, you know, this is part of my documentation as this situation apparently continues, as, you know, law enforcement agencies apparently are of no help. And so I do my thing by expose. Because after all, even though I don't feel the need that I have to back up my claims, my statements, my theories, my opinions, and all that good garbage, nope. See, all in all, this is necessary. Unfortunately, that I have to waste time documenting content that I don't want to even have anything to do with. And so, you know, as far as I'm concerned, if they were actually told by law enforcement, you know, to keep the dog away from me, and they're still, well, they're not complying with the possibilities of what law enforcement had tried to instill. I don't know. I have had no feedback whatsoever. I did have a phone call come in. Of course, I don't answer phone calls unless they're, you know, from within my contact list. Leave voicemail. That's what I always say whenever, because there's, you know, too many spams out there kicking off. So I usually will say, leave a voicemail to my phone when any random phone call should come in, a random number. Well, yeah, a voicemail was left, and that, you know, was one of these automated robo type calls, and that had some kind of a code to it, and it's like, you know what, well, if this is some kind of, you know, feedback from any law enforcement agency over, you know, a file number or something like that, you know, no, I don't deal with technology. You know, prove to me that you're actually doing something and contact me. You've got my phone number. And of course, you know, in Kent County, we have Michigan State Police Data Collection Headquarters, which you know, if you were to see the interior of that department, you would think that you were visiting NASA Space Control Center. Yeah. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, yeah. Even before I should happen to post this, they probably already have this data. You know. But that's just through, you know, information that I've gleaned from watching a lot of so-called conspiracy videos. Nobody even has a clue what that word means anymore. Well, I'm trying to show you one that's been taking place. An evil plot. That is what a conspiracy is. Old school definition includes the word evil. And I believe I am dealing with just that. Enough said. We're done. Later.